Hello Stampin' friends, it's Ayana Johnston here with another check this out video tutorial to show you. Today I want to show you how I made this thank you fall leaves card. I used the beautiful colorful season stamp set to have this fun fall look and to make it a wonderful thank you card. You can do a happy birthday in here as well, Thanksgiving, you know, whatever you like. It's a versatile card and it's got that fun fall color look. You can get the supply list for this card on my blog at www.checkthisout.stampinup.net, and be sure to check out my other great ideas. I'm going to have some other fun videos following this one, very close to it, because I lost my video editor. He went to college, how dare he. And so now I'm having to do these videos on my own and edit them myself. So at this juncture I'm trying to do a bunch of videos and get them out to you so you can see some fun great ideas and pass them on and, you know, case those ideas and show them to others. So let's get started making this card. To make this card set, you're going to need two stamp sets. The first one you're going to need is this wonderful Thankful Thoughts stamp set, and I use the thank you so much right here. It's a beautiful big thank you and it really just screams to you, and I love the color when you see it up, you know, close. And the other stamp set you're going to need is called the Colorful Seasons, and in this particular stamp set I use this wonderful leaf right here. It just does so much. And then I also use the wonderful seasonal, I use the seasonal layers thinlits for this card. And the great thing about this is if you get it as a bundle, or you can buy it as a bundle and save 10%, and it's just a great accent to everything that you do. For the stamp set you'll use for this card, you're going to use 3. On my card that I showed you, I used a little bit of a different color combination where I used Peekaboo Peach and Yellow, and I'm sorry, it's Daffodil Delight. But for this one, I'm going to go a little deeper colors. I'm going to use Fresh Fig, Garden Green, and Cajun Craze. You're also going to need some embossing powder, and you're going to need some Versamark ink. The embossing part that you're going to use for this particular stamp, or this card, you're going to use the copper. Then you're also going to need the oval, not the oval, excuse me, I'm having fun this morning. You're going to use the circling layering set, and you're going to take the largest circle and the largest scallop circle for this card. For cardstock, you're going to need the following. You're going to need a sheet of Cajun Craze, cut at 5.5 by 8.5 and score this at 4 1/4. Then you're going to need a piece of the nice painted autumn designer series paper, and this is in the wonderful holiday catalog. For this card, you're going to need, for the front, you're going to need a sheet of one sheet cut at 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. I literally label front of card because the sizes are so very similar. And for the other sheet of designer series paper, you're going to want to cut this one at 4 inches by 5 1/4. Then you're going to need 2 sheets of Berry Vanilla. You're going to need one sheet cut at 3 3/4 by 5 inches, and then another cut at 3.5 by 3.5. Then you're going to need 2 sheets of the gold foil paper, and one is going to be cut at 4 1/8 by 5 3/8, and the other is going to be cut at 3.5 by 3.5. Now we have all of our pieces. Oh, and then I forgot to mention one more piece, excuse me. And this one is our Whisper White. All you need is a scrap sheet of Whisper White for how we're going to do the leaves. So we're going to start doing the leaves first. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to sponge all of my colors, Cajun Craze, the Fresh Fig, all over the card. And then there you go. And you can keep blending in the colors so you get a nice look of what you want. And the nice thing is the circular motions that you see on here, you're not going to see them when you stamp the leaf on here. So next you're going to want to go ahead and take the leaf stamp with your Versamark ink, and you're going to want to stamp 4 leaves on this piece of paper. So I like to get my piercing mat out and put this behind it. Next, I'm going to get my copper embossing powder. I'm going to sprinkle this all over, and then I'm going to heat emboss it. Okay, so there you go. Next, I'm going to go ahead and take my leaf from my thinlits, from my seasonal layering thinlits, and I'm going to cut out 4 of these with my Big Shot. So I'm going to go do that, and I'll be right back. Okay, so now I've gone ahead with my Big Shot and cut out all my leaves. Look how beautiful those turned out. And I do want to mention, you know, if you don't ever like how the leaves turn out, you can always re-sponge over on top of them and even get like a darker look to them. So next I'm going to stamp one more image, and that is going to be my thank you with Cajun Craze using my 3.5 by 3.5 piece of paper. And again, I always like to use my piercing mat. There's a little debris on there, so I'm going to actually use the flip side. And there you can see my thank you, and I've got a little blotchy areas in there, so I'm going to try this one more time. I'm going to use my other side, which is always nice with having the nice cards options on both sides. So I'm going to stamp this up real good. And there you have it. So that one looks much better. Next, I'm going to cut that out with my large circle. I'm going to use this large circle to cut that piece out. And then I'm going to take my other 3.5 by 3.5 gold foiled sheet, and I'm going to cut this out with this layering thinlet using my Big Shot. I'll be right back. Okay, so I have all my pieces ready to go. Now I can just do my adhering. And first I'm going to start off with my Cajun Craze, and I'm going to just layer one piece after another. And I will tell you, whenever I layer anything to a shiny piece, I always use the multi-purpose glue so I know that it's going to stick. One more thing I need to mention, and I forgot to do, but I did it right before I did this glue. I ink around the edges of the thank you with the Cajun Craze. I'm going to do that real quick. I'm going to pop it up with some Stampin' Dimensionals. I tend to go a little crazy with them because I always am worried that for some reason that it's going to come apart. And then for the inside of my card, I'm going to take this Whisper, or Very Vanilla, excuse me, this is Very Vanilla, and I'm going to ink around it with the Cajun Craze. I'm going to have a little more fun with this one. I'm going to really have it come out. Then I'm going to take all three of my colors and I'm going to do some stamps with the leaves. Sorry, I didn't have that in the video there so you could see that. Next, I'm going to take my designer paper for the inside of my card, adhere this, and then I'm going to adhere this to my card. And there you go. I hope you enjoyed this video tutorial. Please be sure to stop by my website at www.checkthisout.stampinup.net to see my other great ideas, and like I said, more videos coming, and oh my goodness, it's November, Black Friday. What's to come on that day, or shall I say that week, with Stampin' Up and with my specials. Happy Stampin'!